Hey everybody, welcome. My name is Amy and this is yoga. First of all, I apologize for the background noise. Yours truly forgot to actually run the dishes last night. Normally I do that, but it's running right now. So there's just a wee bit extra noise that we will have to kind of navigate through this morning timing wise. So I do apologize for that. Secondly, for those of you just joining into this channel, we mainly focus on vinyasa flow. This week I thought, why not focus on the pelvic girdle, specifically the glutes and all the surrounding muscle tissue around the ischium tuberosity or sit bones, the sacral region anatomically. So we're going to do that this week, and I became inspired, honestly. This past weekend I was kind of practicing on some new flow combinations for you guys and realized, oh my goodness, I can actually mostly straighten my left leg again. And honestly, I haven't had any real serious piriformis pain in a while. And it's funny that I'm just realizing it's been a hot minute since I've needed to utilize certain things when it comes to my old injury, which for those of you who don't know, and I've gone over this before, I hurt my piriformis decades ago. This was, I want to say it was summer of 2001. It might have been 2002, but I was fairly new. I was only about 5 or 6 years into my yoga practice, which to me is fairly new into the yoga practice. And I stupidly went into a wide stance forward fold a little bit too quickly, hadn't warmed my body up enough to it first, which is in part why I actually teach yoga the way I do. I teach it more of a therapeutic way. I guess you can kind of call me a yoga renegade, rebel, and rebellious when it comes to yoga. I'm not a super big fan of asanas that are contraindicative for most people. Anyways, I digress. I'm losing track, getting ahead of myself. So I thought, well, I'm feeling better. I might as well kind of show you guys what I've been doing on my own free time to get my piriformis feeling better again. This is the fastest that I've ever recovered from that. It's only been, let's see, it was late May of last year that I started having issues again. So yeah, it's been a year and 3 months, 15 months only, and normally it takes me years and years and years and years to feel better from that. So these are tools that I have found useful. The yoga block, and again, I talk about this a lot. If you need to use a yoga block but you do not have access to a yoga block, perfectly acceptable to use a stack of books, as long as those books are structurally sound, of course, or blankets can be useful, again, structurally sound. If you have platform shoes, which are, if you're not familiar, platform shoes that are flat all the way across, those can be useful as well. Just make sure that they're wide enough to support you. And I really wouldn't recommend those for any complicated yoga asanas that require a great deal of balance. I've used the term Wobblesaurus Rex in the past, which, yeah, we don't want to be wobbling on those. But these are really ideal. They're cheap. I found mine years ago, and I don't know if Barnes & Noble still sells yoga apparatuses. They don't like to use the word equipment. It just creeps me out for some reason. But yeah, you can pretty much find these anywhere now. And also, useful yoga balls are great. And I'll be going over how to use these shortly. And then the strap. And I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with yoga straps. They can help you achieve a deeper stretch without being too forceful with that stretch. There's a phenomenon called the Golgi tendon reflex, which is when you go into a stretch and you're pushing it too much, you'll start to kind of shake a little bit. That's just your body's, oh, I've got hair in my mouth all of a sudden. It's your body's natural way of telling you, hey, back off or you're going to injure yourself. So this is a great tool to have if you find that you really struggle with that. So I'm going to go ahead and set these aside for now. These are apparatusi. I don't even think that's a word, but I like the sound of it. Apparatusi that you might need for this morning or today or whenever you're practicing this routine. Also, to note, something that I have found incredibly useful. This is a cushion to use if you struggle, and forgive me with the fuzzies. I've had this underneath a plush blanket for a hot minute. I keep it at my computer desk, but it's very useful. This is for if you struggle with concerns regarding your ischium tuberosity or sit bones, specifically your piriformis. If you struggle with piriformis syndrome, this is great. It takes a lot of pressure off. But again, it really, honestly, it just depends on the type of struggle, structural concern, previous injury or injury that you're faced with. Piriformis syndrome sucks. I'm just going to go ahead and say it's one of those things. It's very common when it comes to yoga, and it is very, very hard to heal from. It can take years to decades, especially for somebody who structurally just has, where you're prone to that kind of thing. Like if you have scoliosis like I do, unfortunately, you're going to be more prone to that. But yeah, without further ado, I'm chatting you guys' ears off today. Without further ado, we are going to get started by taking a nice, comfortable, simple seated cross-legged position towards the center of the mat. If you have a cushion that you like to use that helps support you, even if it's a meditative pillow, you can use that here as well today, since we are putting so much focus on posture lately, specifically on help with the piriformis this week. Shoulders down and back, and try to float your shoulders over your hips, palms up, index finger to thumb. Soften your eyes. Unhinge your jaw. Inhale through your nose. Try to keep the shoulders down, bringing the inhalation into the abdomen. So allow your abdomen to expand. And exhale through your mouth. Again, inhale. And exhale. One more breath. Inhale. And exhale. This time on your inhalation, you're going to clasp hold of your right, so I'm going to mirror you today, your right foot and your right knee. And I want you to kind of hug that leg in as much as you can. Even if you have to kind of bring that leg further away from your body, feel free to do so. Again, if you're shaking here, come back to your seated cross-legged. No shakes. No shakes in the stretches. It shouldn't feel like, have you ever had like a toothache? You'll know if you're struggling with your piriformis. It'll kind of feel like, the best way I know to describe it is like a toothache. It's painful, obviously, but it'll be achy pain. You might even notice some numbness and tingling going down your leg, because any inflammation there will pinch off your sciatic nerve. It'll pinch off many different nerves. Actually, there's a lot of nerves that connect to the functioning of your piriformis. That inflammation pinches things off a lot. So if you're numb, tingling, aching, come here. If not, see if you can take that leg a little bit higher and keep your shoulders over your hips. Let's hold here for about 10 breaths. Four more breaths. Inhale, exhale, go ahead and release that leg down. Now we're going to switch sides. Inhale, exhale, hold on to the the left knee and left foot. Again, mirroring you here. And we're just going to hold for 10 breaths. And you might notice that one side is a little bit more flexible than the other. That's perfectly normal. Ugh, I hate that word too, normal. What is normal? Keeping your eyes nice and soft. 6 more breaths. Take one more deep breath. Inhale. Exhale, release that leg down. This time, inhale. And as you exhale, begin to gather your knees towards your chest with your legs crossed. I want you to see how high you can lift the knees. And we have a couple of different options. Either gently take your fingertips around the knees or release your arms down, fingertips into the mat. Breathe deeply. See if you can sit up a little higher. Now you're going to start to notice that you're engaging your adductors as well as your hip flexors a little bit here. Navel drawn in tight. Take one more breath. Inhale, exhale, and cross opposite legs this time. Fingertips around the knees. Inhale. Exhale, start to gather the knees towards your chest. Try to sit up nice and tall. Again, either keep the fingertips around the knees or take the fingertips into the mat. 5 deep breaths. Try not to allow the shoulders to rise. Inhale, exhale, release the knees down. So this time, inhale, exhale, take the left leg to the left. And go ahead and keep the toes lifted for now. Toes spread nice and wide. And just hold here for a couple of breaths. Again, try to keep the shoulders lifted and stacked over the hips. Inhale. Exhale. Just give me 2 more breaths here. Inhale. Exhale. 1 more breath. Inhale. And exhale and switch sides. Inhale through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. So we're just seeing how strong we are through the pelvic girdle, through the adductors, how strong the pelvic floor is, navel drawn in, but at the same time, shoulders down. 1 more breath. And release. So bringing the feet together. Inhale, sit up nice and tall. And exhale, round your spine. Inhale, nice and tall. See if you can draw the knees closer to your chest. Exhale, round your spine. Inhale. And exhale, keep your shoulders over your hips. Draw the knees out and hold for 3 breaths. If you're noticing feeling a bit achy or tired in the hips, really pay attention and focus in on that sensation. Again, you shouldn't be shaking. If you are shaking, instead, I want you to gather the knees together using your arms to hold the knees together and simply relax with your knees to your chest. Otherwise, continue to hold and breathe. Now, if you're noticing this is a little too strenuous for the hip flexors and or hips, you could take the heels further away and hold and breathe. If you're doing okay from here, I want you to see if you can bring the heels closer in and the toes into the floor, while at the same time maintaining the shoulders over the hips. Try not to tip back. Inhale through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. 2 more breaths. Inhale. Exhale, 1 more breath, and release. So this is going to be a little bit different from our usual vinyasa flow today. Let's go ahead and transition. Set the pillow, cushion, whatever you're using aside for a moment and come to all fours. If this is too strenuous for your hands and wrists, and if you have like a supportive tool here, you could use your supportive tool. These work great for supporting the hands and wrists as well. Or if you have a softball or baseball handy to use, that could work too. Just make sure that you're not squishing your fingers. Inhale through your nose. Exhale through your mouth, keeping your back nice and flat. Inhale. Exhale. 1 more breath. Inhale. And exhale. Now, take your hips back to your heels. And we've done this before previously. Now, if this is too deep of a stretch or too deep of a knee bend, if it's too much for your back, your hips, you could, if you have a block or some sort of supportive device, you could place that between your heels and your hips too. This might help a little bit if you struggle with hip or knee flexibility. Inhale. Exhale. 3 more breaths. All right, go ahead and release your supportive device if you're using one. And transition. Swing your legs forward or roll back, whichever works best for you. Shoulders over the hips. Now, normally we will tell you in a seated forward fold to hold the toes, slide the body forward. I'm not a huge proponent of that for a multitude of reasons, not the least of which is because piriformis syndrome is an extremely common phenomenon in the yoga world, and we don't want to force that stretch. So that being said, if you have a strap that you would like to use from here, you could use the strap just by wrapping it around the feet and reaching for the strap rather than reaching for your toes. If you need to stay here and fold forward, stay here and fold forward. If you need to adjust by bending the knee of the side where you struggle with the piriformis syndrome, I certainly absolutely recommend for you to do so here. And you could wrap that strap around the toes of that foot. Use the strap to reach forward and hold. And as we do so, inhale, lift the shoulders, exhale, hinge the hips a little bit more and hold. If your injury is fairly fresh, depending on the severity of the injury, and again, I would like to stress and cannot stress enough, I'm not a doctor, I'm a yoga instructor. So if you are at the point where you cannot sit directly on your ischium tuberosity, please see a physician as soon as possible. If this is fairly fresh for you, if it's from overuse, maybe you overstretched it and you strained it, you've aggravated it, these come in very handy. So you're going to place one underneath the sit bone, and you're going to kind of move around a little bit to kind of find where that spot is affecting you the most. Again, I do not recommend this if you've actually literally just torn your piriformis. See a doctor. Otherwise, you're going to inhale, exhale, see if you can fold forward. Again, if you have a strap, use the strap. If you want to get deeper into that stretch on your non-affected side, you could use the yoga block and fold. So you might notice that the yoga ball takes the stress away from those nerves being pinched due to the inflammation of the piriformis, making it a little bit more possible for you to possibly straighten the leg some more, to isolate more into the hamstrings and take away the strain from the piriformis. And that's what we want to do. We want to maintain the hamstrings without re-injuring or straining the piriformis. Over time, this can help to rehabilitate piriformis syndrome. Inhale and exhale. See if you can fold a little bit more. I'm going to go ahead and release that ball. If you can release your ball, you certainly can here as well. Inhale, exhale, optional. See if you can fold a little bit more. And again, if you're shaking, I want you to bend the knee or back away from that stretch just a little bit. That's just your body's way of telling you that you're going too deep into that stretch. Inhale, exhale. See if you can fold a little bit more. We're going to hold here for another 5 breaths. Inhale, lift the shoulders over the hips. And exhale, let's turn over to the right, not your right, since I'm profiling you guys in profile to the camera. So go ahead and turn to the right. And see if you can look over the right shoulder. Draw the right elbow back. I want you to pretend as though you're trying to cross the medial line of your body, the medial line running literally down the center of your body. Try to cross that line with your elbow and pretend like you're trying to wrap the elbow around the other side of your spine. Hold and breathe. Try to keep from moving and shifting the knees. I want you to try to keep the knees lined up. Nice deep breaths. Inhale to center. Exhale, switch sides. Again, try to take that elbow around to the other side of the spine. Try to keep the knees lined up. Inhale, come back to center. So something very important to note with piriformis syndrome. Anytime we go into a hip extension and you're bringing that leg behind you, that could also put a lot of undue strain on the piriformis. So what I want you to do is go ahead and inhale, lift the shoulders, and exhale, carefully slide the heels in one at a time. You're going to go ahead and carefully take both knees over to the right. So we're getting a little bit of a stretch here. Just go ahead and just hold for 10 breaths. Fingertips wrapped around the backs of the legs. And switch sides. And come to center. Let's roll or transition forward back to all fours. And again, if you need to use a device or apparatus to support your hands and wrists, you certainly can here as well. Inhale, let's come into cow for a moment. And exhale, slowly start to tuck in the tailbone. If you have to hold your back flat, absolutely feel free to do so. If it's not bothering your sit bone, go ahead and tuck in the tailbone and hold. Let's go ahead and hold for 10 breaths. See if you can start to squeeze and engage the glutes. Inhale through your nose, exhale through your mouth. Inhale, exhale, 3 more breaths. And come to a flat back, releasing that stretch. And again, let's sit back on that mat and windshield wiper the knees over to the right. See if you can start to take the left leg a little bit closer towards the outer edge of the mat. You're drawing that left foot to the edge of the mat and hold. And switch sides. Windshield wiper to the left. Now, something to note, if you are struggling with inflammation in your piriformis, you're going to feel it. You're going to feel it around the sit bone. It'll kind of feel like your bump, like a threshold would bump when you roll a cart over the threshold of a door. Same with piriformis. You're going to feel like something moving underneath your sit bone. Now, that's something that naturally occurs for many people. Depending on how prone you are to experiencing piriformis syndrome. Let's go ahead and switch sides. A lot of it has to do with genetics. One more breath and switch. One side might feel a little bit more pronounced than the other. And take the knees to center. Inhale. And exhale. See if you can flex the feet, slide the legs a little bit further forward and fold slightly. Let's hold here for a few breaths. And take the shoulders over the hips. Let's come back to all fours. From a flat back, inhale, come back to cow. Exhale, tuck in the tailbone or come to a flat back. Hold for 10 breaths. And inhale, flat back. Exhale, go ahead and shift your hips over to the right. Lift the left knee and hold here for a couple of breaths. And switch sides. Inhale. Exhale, slide the right knee back, followed by the left knee. So we're going to focus on how to kind of rehab into cobra or baby cobra. Again, anytime we're lifting the leg back, we're going into a hip extension, which essentially this is a hip extension. So you're extending the hip flexor, you're lengthening it to bring the leg back. Essentially, we're doing a dorsiflexion of that leg. We're bringing it back. So what I want you to do is from all fours, inhale and exhale, drop the hips halfway and hold. Turn to look over the left shoulder. Turn to look over the right shoulder. I want you to try to keep from moving the hips as you turn. Stabilize the hips. Do you feel any pulling on one side a little bit more than the other? Do you feel it pulling into the hips when you turn your neck? Inhale, let's hold to center. Exhale, take the hips back. And again, if you need to use a block or books or blankets, go ahead and place that back there to support you. If you feel like you can take the hips all the way back, go ahead and take the hips all the way back and hold. So, take note of how you felt when you were turning your head. We're not coming into a back bend. We're just maintaining a flat back. Again, inhale, lift the hips back to all floors, and exhale, take the hips halfway down and hold. Navel drawn in. Inhale, exhale, turn. Inhale, center. Exhale, turn. So I want you to pretend there's an invisible string connecting your pubis to your tailbone. Now remember, everything of your body is connected. You're engaging, stabilizing into your pelvic floor. So basically, kind of like you're holding everything in, trying to keep from going to the bathroom. Basically, you're going to hold everything in, navel drawn in a little bit tighter. Try to stabilize the hips as much as you can. Take your gaze to center, looking towards the mat. Inhale, Exhale, hips back to or towards the heels. Hold here for a few breaths. So instead of cobra or baby cobra, inhale, come to a flat back. We're not releasing the hips all the way down, and hold 10 breaths. This time we're keeping the neck lined up with the spine, gaze into the mat. Press up and through the shoulders, locking in your frame. Now, if you're shaking a little bit in your arms, not from a stretch, but just because you're holding this for a while, that is perfectly normal. That just means that we're tiring out those muscles. Again, that word normal. I really do not like that word very much. And I'm realizing there are a lot of words that I strongly dislike. 5 more breaths. Inhale, lift the hips. Exhale, take the hips back to or towards the heels and hold. So I mentioned how it can be very strenuous for the piriformis to go into a hip extension. The same is true when performing lunges. The same is true when performing a standing back bend, especially when we're transitioning from standing back bend to forward fold. So we're going to focus on that here. Inhale and exhale. Go ahead and walk your hands in. If you're using an apparatus for your hands and wrists, go ahead and set them aside. Keep them close. Inhale, curl the toes under, and exhale, lift the hips and roll back, transitioning into forward fold. Feet lined up with the hips, and we're at the very back of the mat now. Ragdoll your torso. And we've gone over this before. Ragdoll meaning we're letting gravity do the work. We're relaxing the neck, loosening up the upper body. Inhale. Exhale, inhale, exhale. Now, if you have one side less affected than the other, specifically if you're struggling with piriformis syndrome, you're gonna try to straighten that side a little bit more. If you struggle with the other side, you're gonna bend that knee a little bit more and hold here. If this is too much for you, as we've gone over before, if you get dizzy headed with your head below your heart, I want you to try to keep your head above your heart. Breathe deeply. If you feel like you can straighten that leg, go ahead and straighten that leg, releasing all the way into your forward fold. From here, inhale. Exhale, clasp your elbows or stay halfway. And let's swing from side to side. What I want you to try to keep from doing is rocking a baby. So try not to move from the shoulders. Not moving from the shoulders. We are, and I'm going to face you, we are moving from the junction between your navel and your pelvis. So you're basically swinging from your waist. You're swinging side to side. Take note of what your knees are doing. Try not to twist the knees side to side. I want you to keep the knees stable, and you're only swinging from your waist. If you're really struggling to keep the knees stable, instead what I want you to do is come halfway up, and then you're going to turn your neck to look over each shoulder. Okay, so really, again, listen to your body. You have options. Be very patient with yourselves. Or of course, if you're just one person watching this video, be very patient with yourself. Did I say patient? My goodness, I meant patient. I'm clearly half awake today. I do apologize. So let's go ahead and hold and swing over to the right. Notice your knees. Again, try to keep the knees stable. The knees over the ankles. One more breath. And over to the left and hold. and come to center and hold. Release those arms down. Hold here for a few more breaths. And inhale. Bend the knees slightly. Come all the way up to standing. One vertebrae at a time. So, speaking of hip extension, go ahead and take the right foot slightly forward. So kind of like you're taking a big step forward, and just hold here. Try to keep the hips square to the front of the mat. Hands on your hips. We've gone over these before. See if you can tuck in the tailbone, engaging the glutes. If you're feeling an aching pain in your sit bone, I want you to maintain a neutral spine. Neutral spine is not a flat back. A neutral spine is a natural lower lumbar curve. You're not going to maintain a neutral spine from a well-executed plank position. You're not going to maintain a neutral spine when you're holding a low squat. Physiologically, it's just not going to happen unless, of course, you're a contortionist, which, awesome. Congratulations. I'm happy for you. If you are not a contortionist, when you fold forward or you're sitting back into a squat, your spine is not going to maintain a natural lower lumbar curve. Instead, your back is going to flatten. So go ahead and take your hands into your low back. Fold halfway and hold. Now, with the leg that's coming forward, you should not feel like you're shaking. It should not feel like you're fighting the urge to bend the knee. There shouldn't be any aching feelings or feelings of numbness. If you're noticing that, I want you to take your shoulders up a little bit further, bend the knee slightly, and hold. If you are noticing, oh, this is easy, I could do this for days, then just keep holding here. Again, be patient, listen to your body. And carefully, with your hands on your low back, lift. And come to a neutral spine. And see if you can tuck in the tailbone, engaging the glutes, and hold. And step together. So right now we're neutral spine. Keep your hands on your low back. Step the other foot forward. Now we're going to see how we're feeling on this side. Inhale. Exhale. Tuck in the tailbone. Do you notice a difference? Do you notice a difference of flexibility? Maybe you are favoring one side a little bit more than the other. Inhale. Exhale. Take note if you are favoring one side a little bit more than the other, especially if you're somebody who mixes up your training. If you're doing strength training on some days, yoga on other days. If you're noticing that you're favoring greatly more on one side than the other, chances are you might want to change up your practice. You might want to switch to dumbbells instead of barbell. Inhale, exhale, start to fold, coming to a flat back. We're not maintaining a neutral spine. Now, if you're anything like me, you occasionally like to challenge yourself. If you do happen to be performing this on a Pilates mat that's thick and squishy, yeah, you probably are wobbling or shaking a little bit. That's just because you're fighting the instability of the mat, and that's fine. But if you're shaking because you're trying to stretch more and you're just finding it's not happening, again, bend the knee, come up a little bit higher. Listen to your body. And inhale, lift the hips. Do you notice that your back changes? It feels different when you're focusing on a different side. Listen to your body. Go ahead and bend the knee, step together, and release into Tadasana or mountain pose. Shoulders stacked over the hips. Try to draw the chin in closer towards your throat. So pretend like you have a string attached to the base of it's at the base of your skull, and it's pulling your head towards the back of the room. Inhale, reach your arms up. And exhale, see if you can sit back. Hinge the knees, hinge the hips, press the arms back and hold. Shoulders down. And see if you can lift the arms a little bit higher without bending your back. Try to keep the shoulders down. Back is flat. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And how are you feeling? Are you able to engage the glutes without any noticeable pain? Inhale. Exhale and release back to forward fold. Again, adjusting as needed. If you need to bend one knee a little bit more than the other, you certainly can here as well. Inhale, come halfway up. And exhale, take the hips back to the heels. Or carefully transition back to the mat, coming to all fours. Inhale, exhale, hips to heels. Inhale, lift the hips, and exhale, take the hips halfway down. If it does not bother your hips, see if you can release the hips all the way down, engage the glutes. Navel drawn in tight. See if you can tuck in the tailbone here, getting a deeper stretch into those hip flexors. See if you can start to look upward, shoulders down, locking your frame in place. Now, if you need to get a deeper stretch, tuck under the toes, lift the right knee and hold. And release the right side and switch sides. Again, are you noticing one side is a little different than the other? And release. Inhale, lift the hips very carefully. Exhale, hips to heels. And see if you can release into child's rest. Do you notice that one hip is more tender than the other? Take note of that. Maybe work through and shift the hips to one side and hold for a few breaths. Remember that all that fascia, all those ligaments, all those tendons, just like anywhere else in the body, they're all connected. Especially if you struggle with any hip pain, you have any SI pain, any nerve concerns regarding your back. Oftentimes it can be because of what your pelvic girdle is doing. Sometimes the original issue is not really the spine itself, but it's actually within the pelvis. See if you can shift again one side and then the other. Inhale all fours. And exhale, let's go ahead and transition into downward facing dog. And we're going to do the same thing. Shift the hips side to side. And again, if you need to keep one knee bent, of course, keep the knee bent. Inhale, hold. And exhale, lower the knees to the mat. And again, sit back on the mat. We're going to focus on those yoga balls again. So go ahead and place the ball on one side. And let's go ahead and, if you have two, go ahead and place them underneath both of your sit bones. Kind of roll the hips around to kind of feel where you have some tender spots. And feet flexed, knees bent. See if you can fold a little bit more. Let's slide out the right heel, followed by the left without holding on to your toes. We do not want to force that stretch. And see if you can release a little bit more. Are you noticing that you can get a deeper stretch in your forward fold with that yoga ball? Might be an indication that you have some inflammation in the fascia of your pelvic girdle, especially around your sit bones. Something to kind of really focus on in your yoga practice. Inhale, exhale. See if you can fold a little bit more without forcing it. Inhale, walk the hands in. Go ahead and shift the hips from side to side and release the yoga ball. And again, let's try that without assistance from a yoga ball. Inhale, exhale, walk the hands forward and hold. Inhale, lift the shoulders. Now, are you noticing any kind of difference? Does it feel like it's a little easier to fold? Again, something you might want to start paying attention to a little bit more. Inhale, exhale, use the strength of your arms to travel the hips to the center of the mat. Reach forward. Inhale, exhale, tuck in the tailbone and roll all the way back into the mat. And let's go ahead and rest here for a few breaths. Take your hands into your abdomen, feeling the rise and fall upon every breath. Tuck in the tailbone a little bit more to try to bring the low back into the mat. Excuse me. And shift the hips to one side, shift the hips to the other side, and pull the knees to center. Inhale, exhale, take your right knee to your chest, foot is flexed. Slide out the left leg. Inhale, exhale, see if you can lengthen that leg a little bit more. Inhale, exhale, see if you can lengthen some more. One more breath. Inhale and exhale. See if you can lengthen that leg all the way. And again, if you're shaking, I want you to bend that knee a little bit more. We have the option of binding the toe with the index finger or thumb, or if you would like to use a yoga strap, you can here as well. Inhale. Exhale, go ahead and release that leg down and switch sides, knee to chest, sliding out the right leg. Inhale, exhale. See if you can start to lengthen the leg. Inhale, exhale. See if you can lengthen that leg a little bit more. Inhale, exhale. See if you can lengthen that leg all the way. And again, we have the option of binding the index finger and thumb to the toe. And release. Let's slide out those legs, coming into our Shavasana. Now, of course, just for the purposes of this video, I'm only going to guide you through Shavasana for 5 breaths. And I say this a lot. Mostly it's because, well, honestly, you don't want to watch me nap for half an hour. So if you would rather maintain Shavasana for a more extended period of time, I absolutely encourage you to do so. Let's go ahead and open up the arms, palms up, legs open, eyes soft. Begin to allow your eyes to drift closed. Relax and let go of any residual tension that you may have throughout your entire body, traveling from your fingertips down to your toes. Let go of any residual tension. Let go of any residual strenuous thoughts. And I want you to feel as though your mind is drifting towards the sky and your body is sinking deep within the earth. Let go and focus only on your breathing. As soon as you feel ready to come back into the room, begin to wiggle your fingers and toes. Slide in your right heel, followed by your left. Take your arm by your ear and roll over onto your side. Eyes remain closed into the fetal position. And begin to allow the eyes to drift open and use the strength of your arms to come all the way up to a nice, comfortable seated cross-legged position. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, lower the arms. And again, inhale, reach. Exhale, release. One more breath. Inhale, palms together. Exhale, hands to heart center. Namaste. Thank you guys so much for joining me. And as always, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, feel free to drop those down below in the comments section. And don't forget to like and subscribe and make sure to click or tap on that notification bell. Peace, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your week.